see what we got here. Let's see. Social media. Yep, that's live. YouTube.
Yeah, where's the link? Yeah.
Nope.
Q.
You good? Everything cool?
Where's the link? The YouTube link.
Oh, it just popped up. Is it you don't see it? It's Big Q's World. You don't see it?
I'm trying to see.
Might have to refresh.
Okay, there it is. I got it.
All right, I'm muting again. Here we go.
Okay,
that's
Periscope.
good. And here we go. Oh, Christina Cooper's already in that building. Okay. Call of Duty? What? What is going on, smart peoples? It is the Smart Guyz Tech Podcast. I'm your boy, Smart Guy Big Q. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow smart guy.
Oh, smart guy, Keon X. I feel like I should change my name. I feel like I should get something cooler.
Oh, yeah?
You got Big Q.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to think about that.
Yeah, you might want to do that. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Christina calls it the Notification Gang. That's great. Stream Anonymous think we're playing Call of Duty, but it's all good. We're not playing Call of Duty. We're on Smart Guyz Tech Podcast. That's going to be our, what's this? This episode 2 for like season, I think we're on season 3 or season 4. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Keon, what's going on with you, man? I know we missed last week because I had a technical error, like on podcast day. You know, I'm off. I go in and I go to boot up the big rig over here. I'm getting, messages saying that, can't read the OS. Blown hard drive. So I had to rush out to my local electronics retailer at Best Buy and grab a Samsung
the big Best Buy.
Yeah, 970 Evo M2. This is my first time installing the M2 to my computer. And I get it all installed, which is super easy to do. But Samsung did not want to put a mounting kit inside the box. For all they charge for that hard drive, no mounting kit. So right now, the thing is still kind of hanging out of the socket a little bit like this.
Oh my God.
Hey, look, I put a what they call it, a 3M sticky tape thing on it, and the heat of the processor kind of popped it right back out. So, but it's working good. So until I get a mounting kit, which I got on order, it has to hang out like that. But that was me.
You've had this for a week.
That was I know, but I had to work too. Come on, man. I got a job too. You know what I mean?
I hope you guys hear all these excuses.
This was my week. I'm dealing with computer crap, which I don't like dealing with computer crap. I just let it come here.
You're a computer guy.
I know, but I want to sit down and I want to push the button and I want my computer stuff to just come up.
Now you sound like a consumer. That's exactly what you sound like right now.
I'm just saying, I had to go in there and repair that hard drive, and it threw my whole week off, man. I don't like it. Either way, that was me. What you got yourself into, man?
It has been a couple of weeks. We both had little issues here, but we're back. Smart fam. I do want to start off this. I'm doing a new tradition. Yeah. Every week, I'm gonna be pouring up with some good old wine. We make this a sophisticated podcast.
We done got super sophisticated all of a sudden.
Hell yeah. Drink up. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock, or it's past 5 o'clock here. But I mean, no, I've had a good week.
Yeah.
Went back to work. That was not fun. But I did buy me a new lens for my camera. That's amazing. I love this lens so much. And then, just growing. That's all I'm doing, man. Growing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Speaking of growing, I I've been doing some. I'm always thinking about the podcast or the few podcasts that I'm doing right now. I'm thinking about the podcast business as a whole. I invested in some new stuff. I've been sitting there contemplating whether or not I needed a souped up tablet. Those high powered. Like the iPad Pro.
Oh, like an iPad,
like an iPad Pro or a Samsung Galaxy, like the S Tab S or S7 Plus. So I've been playing with one at work for like, I don't know, a couple of days. Me and the homies was kind of messing around with them. And I've been wanting, every time I look at it, dude, I just like, I'm just holding it and it's so beautiful. And the screen is at 120 hertz, all that great stuff, right? But I couldn't justify it, Ken, because, a couple of months ago, I bought that Galaxy Flexbook 2, which is a beautiful piece of tech in and of itself.
It's not a tablet.
It's a full-blown PC, laptop, right? But it's beautiful and it's awesome. And I spec'd it all the way out. And if I wanted to use it as a tablet, I could. You could flip it, But
it's clamshell, right? You can flip it back.
Yeah, I was never a fan of those 2-in-1 type deals. I don't know. I never really, But I was like, man, the tablet would be nice, and it would be nice to not have to take my laptop to work every day in a place like where I work at, where things kind of grow legs and sprout to the door. So I was like, it might be nice to leave my $1,700 laptop at the crib. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
You really spec that thing out.
I did, man. I did. It is, and it's nice. It's really, really nice. But so I want to pull the trigger on it, man. I went ahead and got it, and I've had it for a day and a half now at home, and loaded it up with everything and threw everything at it, and yeah, the little Snapdragon doing its thing, and it's holding up pretty good. It's looking great. So I like it. So far, I'm not getting burned by like the price tag on it, and how so many people are.
What was the price range?
So
what are we talking here?
It's $949 to $1,150 for that. That's the range. You can get it in the 128 or the 256. I got the 128.
A little high.
Yeah, it's a little for a tablet, you know what I mean? But, we'll see if we can get some juice out of it. So, it's all good. It's all gravy.
I feel you.
So listen, I want to say what up to everybody in the building right now. We got a few folks in the building. Their names are not showing. We know we got a Christina Cooper. She's all up in the thing. We know we got her in the building, but it's a few other people in the building too. I can't see who they are right here. Type something.
If you watching, jump in the chat real quick. Let's tell us who's here.
Yeah, because I can see numbers, but I can't see people. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Anyway, Key, we got a pretty dope show today. We touched on the little thing on the first show we did that I kind of want to get into a little bit deeper. You also had a colleague reach out to you with a subject that we definitely going to talk about, because I thought it was pretty interesting when you shared that information with me. I thought it would be something that would be a cool topic to talk about on the show, and that kind of thing. And I don't know anything else that happened to come up while we got this hour to fellowship about tech, right? So the first thing I wanted to talk about was, man, I was sitting there watching that because we hadn't been together since the Super Bowl, right? But I was sitting there watching the Super Bowl, and the whole time during the Super Bowl, the most advertised thing I saw was this new streaming service from Paramount Plus, right? But then also I noticed that the wifey been watching HGTV, and they got this whole Discovery Plus they just launched like a month ago or so.
Wait, just HGTV has their whole thing?
It's got like HGTV, it's got History Channel bundled in, it's got like 9 channels. It's got quite a bit of stuff in it, right? The DIY network, it's like, I don't know, like 9 channels worth of stuff for $4.99 a month, something like that. Then of course, they were showing the advertisement for the new situation with HBO and the movie theaters and all that kind of stuff, right? So it got me to thinking. I was like, this would be nice to talk to Keon about, because we talked about it when we was talking about pandemic and how a pandemic changed a couple of different things. And we talked about this in the past. I don't know if you remember one of the Smart Guy episodes where we kind of started talking about how streaming subscription services were becoming like a normal thing. But now here we are a few years later, and it's smacking us right in the face. Cable TV look like it's going the way of the dinosaur. Ken, what you think about this? Like, and all these subscription services. Like, it's a lot going on right now.
The only reason I say I don't know about that is because if you add up Netflix, Hulu, you're going to be paying like $100 or whatever. And I know people that still have cable, like traditional cable. I mean, it's a little bit different because you have like we have Spectrum here, and you can get Spectrum TV. Yeah. And it's cable, but it's kind of like you can watch it on your phone and stuff. And so it's a little different. I feel like cable has to evolve or we're just gonna succumb to like Hulu and Netflix and other giant Disney Plus.
Yeah. I don't know. So this is like the way I'm looking at it, right? So with all the options, basically they broke it down a la carte. Before you would buy your cable package, tier 1, tier 2, or whatever, right? You know what I mean? You know how that went when you go to buy your cable. Like, do you want HBO or do you want the sports package? Do you want X, Y, and Z? And you pay for it according to the grouping of channels, right? Isn't that the way it works to work?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So now so Hulu has their own thing and they got original programming. Netflix has their own thing and they got original programming. Paramount Plus, Discovery Plus. Tristan was talking about Peacock, which I think is NBC. I think, right?
Yeah, that's NBC.
Right, it's NBC. Disney got their thing. So, but if you want to see everything, so instead of paying one price, which was kind of high, $60, $70 sometimes for a cable package, now you got to pay $9.99 here, $8.99 there, $5.99 here. To get. I mean, I think it's still the same thing. I think you're still in the same boat. Actually, I think you might be paying more now.
No, you're paying more because I know YouTube TV, just YouTube itself is like $80 or $70. That's just YouTube TV. Right. They have a bunch of channels, like they're pretty much the new cable, but at that time you're just trading, one thing in for the same thing. Yeah, it's kind of pointless. And then with stuff like Netflix, you have to pay more for 4K. You have to pay more to watch it on 2 or 3 streams at once. So it's just like you're going to be paying money.
So, I don't know which way to lean on this one. Do I feel bad for the cable companies because they're being forced to kind of redo their business strategy, or do we encourage this type of behavior from the content, producers who are, doing it their way? I
encourage. I want, if you can't handle it, you gotta die out. Like, wow. You gotta either evolve or die. That's it. It is what it is. Yeah. Like, you're a business, so you either got to change with the times or you're going to get squashed. Right. And that's kind of what happened. Like, Netflix used to be the DVD company, and then they were just like, we gotta get better. Right. GameFly used to be the game company. GameFly got squashed. Like, GameFly not doing it. So, you gotta evolve, or you're out of here.
Right. Because GameFly eventually evolved into like Stadia and NVIDIA games and all that streaming gaming stuff, right? Kind of evolved into that, right? And you
can buy games on systems now, so it's like, what's GameFly?
Yeah, right. So like I look at it like, I mean, because if I was one of them kind of people who actually pay for, like, which you know how I get down. So if I can find a way to do it, I'm gonna find a way to do it. But if let's just say, for the sake of conversation, right?
No, I agree with you. I didn't want to say nothing because we on YouTube.
Right, I'm Google. I'm choosing my words very carefully here, right? But for the sake of conversation, I was actually paying for it. Like I didn't fell in love with WandaVision, right? The first 2 episodes, I didn't think it was worth the money. I didn't. So like I'd have paid for that subscription. I'd watched 2 episodes and I'd have been like, "Oh, this sucks," right? And I would have canceled it, right? But because
you wouldn't have got your money back though, I'm just letting you know.
But because of the circumstances, I was able to exercise a little bit of patience, right? Let it cook a little.
I don't know what patience you got. I got an hour after it airs, but I don't know what we're talking about here. But no. I mean, I don't know. I appreciate it just because me and the lady, we have separate services, so together, right? We have everything we need. The family has everything they need because everybody's sharing whatever they have. So I feel like it's a little bit better for people who don't live in the same house. Like, if you were like a family and you got mom, dad, kids, and maybe grandma up in the attic, they all watching cable, $60, $70 a month, cool. Yeah. But that's also you don't have convenience. I talk about that a lot with people. I pay a convenience fee. Like, I pay for Netflix so I can watch it anytime I want, whenever I want, however I want. Right. I don't have to wait for 8 o'clock to sit in front of my only living room TV. So like, I'll pay a little bit extra to do it my way. And I like, that I feel like that's how things are. Like, you can either do it their way and pay it cheaper and just be a customer basically. Yeah. Or you can pay a little bit more, do it your way, or do it as your way as you can. So evolve or die, man. That's my strategy.
So that's TV and exclusive content, right? Now we're talking about the blockbuster stuff. We're talking about the HBO Plus, HBO Max. Is it HBO Go, HBO Plus, HBO Max? HBO Max. It's Max.
I think it's HBO Max. I think it's Max. Yeah.
Okay, we're doing Max right now, right? So they
and
flash their stuff
and all
up.
that.
Yeah, they got like all this stuff, the Mortal Kombat, the Tom and Jerry, LeBron James, the Space Jam. They got all this stuff going on, right? So it's either you go out into the COVID, right, or you pay this exorbitant amount of money to watch the same movie that if you went to the movies, you probably would have paid half for. I'm just telling you, because the wife wanted to see Mulan when it first came out, and I think the movie, I think they, what were they charging? What were they charging for that movie?
$30.
It was like
$30,
right? $30 for the movie. When she could have went to the movie theater, I know, I ain't, people that really want to do all that. But the movie, like normally the movie would cost like $14, right? You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying.
So you got to think about it. And I Disney did it away. Yeah. They said, hey, a normal family of 4 will pay like what, $50 to go see a movie. But if it's just me, I'm paying $9, $10. If it's you and your lady, you're paying like what, $20, $25.
Right.
So you got to kind of meet in the middle. But that only helps the families. Like for the single people, we're not doing that. We're not. I'm not paying that. Yeah. So
it's ridiculous.
I mean, you're only helping some people.
Right.
But
the only thing I think about it because I'm a tech head and I always kind of look beyond the veil a little bit. Like, before COVID or whatever, me and my brothers or whatever, we would go to 2 or 3 Carolina Panthers football games in the stadium per year. We would go to a few games, right? And it was always a thing, like when you went to the games, it's supposed to be this ultimate experience or whatever. But the game actually sucked when you go to the stadium. It was actually pretty bad, right? Just like when you go to a concert, the concert experience is kind of whack.
No, it's not. I don't agree there.
Your guy is way up there on the stage.
It don't matter. I don't agree there.
But when you watch it at home on the DVD release in 4K with all these sweeping cameras and all this nonsense.
Yo, chat, tell this man that he is wrong.
No.
Concert experience is not.
The concert experience is whack, bro. It's whack. Unless you filthy rich and you can afford to sit up front. Otherwise, the concert experience is whack, yo. It is.
I can't wait for the chat to fire you up right now.
I would rather watch the concert from the crib. That's what I'm saying. Just like I would rather watch the football games from that. I think the football, especially
sports, yes, but concerts, nah. You don't feel it. It's different.
Yeah, I ain't even talking about. I'm talking about the actual, like, dude. You 16 rows back.
It don't matter.
The dude is, you can barely, if it wasn't for the screens, you wouldn't even see the guy on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but you get to tell people, hey man, I just went to the concert.
Right.
I had my binoculars. I saw that man.
Yeah, that's terrible, yo. That's a waste of $70. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, right? What I'm getting to is that, like, a lot of them times, like, we would go to those games, and then I would come home later and I would watch the replay of the game and be like, damn, it looks so much better. I didn't even know this even happened because I was at the stadium. I didn't even see it happen like that, right? So in that regard, I'm thinking like that should encourage tech to get better and the prices on that high-end stuff to come down to make home theater now more focal point. Like it used to be back like in, I don't know, the early 90s, early 2000s. If home theater was the jump, everybody was throwing thousands and thousands of dollars into their home theater setup or whatever, and I think now, do
you have a home theater setup?
Not no more. I used to. Like back in the day, I had a really
you tore
nice.
It down or you moved?
No, I brought it with me. Now, when I bought this house, I brought the home theater with me, and 2 reasons why I don't have it no more. Right? Number one, wifey couldn't stand it, so I'm sitting there watching the movies and all the rumbly, thumbly, sounds, and I'm enjoying myself. But she's like, turn that off, right? So she don't like it. So I can only watch it when she's not around, right? And the other reason is that the tech got so bad, so everybody wanted to reduce it to one unit versus it being the separate units that it used to be. In my opinion, I thought it sounded better. Like these sound bars and crap, I'm not a fan. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't like the Dolby Atmos throwing the sound up and around?
Nah, I don't like that. You know what I mean? So, but I think, with this whole situation where everybody's kind of, centered around the house a little bit more, we're doing more things at home. Maybe this technology will get a little bit better for home theater, and maybe we'll see some new stuff come out to make watching your sports and watching your movies a little bit more enjoyable, but not have to pay, a crazy amount of money for home theater.
Okay. I can't really talk too much about sports because I was never heavy enough into sports to actually buy tickets to go to the games like that. I've been to certain games and I'm just like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. Concerts are different for me.
Right.
I know the movie experience is different. Like first of all, I know if me and my lady lived together, we had a house with a theater, she would be in there 24/7. Like I would lose her in there. That's just where she would be. But like, it's like a whole experience when you have like the darkness and the giant screen and the couch chairs. So it is a little bit different. It kind of separates you. So you're not really like, if I'm just watching on my TV, I still have like my house. Like I still have my dog. I still have the windows. So it's a little bit different, but I don't know. So, I would like that experience.
There was one twist on it before we move on. There was a twist that I actually got to experience over the last couple of weeks because I recently bought an Oculus Quest 2. I think I talked about this on the first episode a little bit. But I bought an Oculus Quest 2. You can see it up there. It's up there. But so what's cool about it is like a couple things that I like about it. So they have this app called Big Screen, right? Basically, it's a movie theater, a virtual movie theater. What I like about it is that you can still go to the movies and feel like you're in the movies and see it like it's shown in the movies. And you can actually have people in there with you that are real people, but are not real people. So they're not coughing on you, giving you COVID, but they're still real people. You know what I mean? Like, I
didn't know that. I remember I had a VR.
I
don't know.
It's pretty cool.
It was cool. I guess the concept was cool. But I had my VR like 4 years ago, so I'm pretty sure it's gotten much better.
Oh yeah,
and mine wasn't even like a big name brand.
So I've been enjoying this other thing. Like it's been great. It's called Alt Space VR. That's what it's called, right? And basically, these people, these nerds or whatever, they build these little worlds or whatever, or these little events. They have like a talk show or like a show like America's Got Talent, or they'll do like a club or a rave, or they have all these different things you can go to. And people just show up. And it's like you at the club or you at the studio audience watching the people sing and do karaoke. And I've been having a blast. It's been amazing, bro. I'm telling you, right? And I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable going out, quote unquote going out, without having to leave my room and worrying about, wearing a mask and all, and all this stuff. Because, all we seeing is like avatars, little cartoon characters of each other with floating hands or whatever. You know what I mean? I thought it was pretty fly. So I've been enjoying that. And the movie theater.
I would just want to see. I wouldn't sit on the outside and look at the people that have the VR on just to see how they look. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be pretty dope. But it's been good. I mean, I thought I've been having a lot of fun with that thing. I think it's been dope. They've been doing a lot of cool stuff with VR. But I don't know. I just felt like I was just thinking about that. I was like watching them launch that Peacock stuff, and I think the WWE is actually airing their biggest show of the year, WrestleMania, on Peacock this year, and they dumping it. They're not doing it on their own network that they've had for like 5 or 6 years now. So this streaming TV and movie thing I think it's here to stay. I think it's here to stay. I think this is the next thing that we're going to be kind of moving into. I think this is where we at.
I feel like we're going to see it with HBO. So however HBO does, like if they make a giant amount of money on this, we're going to see it later. If they like break even or lose money, we may not see it so fast. So,
I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's easy to build the apps into the TVs. You ain't really got to do much or whatever. I mean, it looks like it's kind of leaning toward that way, and it's whatever you can do to stay afloat when money is being taken away from you. Otherwise, like you can't, get money at the gates at the door no more. Box office, that stuff just ain't a thing no more. You can't do it. So you have to adapt. And I think that monthly subscription. Even though I think a monthly subscription is a little rough because it ain't like good, awesome movies come out every week or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know. Netflix and HBO trying to tell you something different.
I guess, right? I don't know. But like I said, I'm ready for this Mortal Kombat. Right? I'm ready for that. I'm ready for this LeBron James.
That Space Jam.
Space Jam. We're ready for it, bro. Tom and Jerry. Look, no, I don't know about
that. For me, Mortal Kombat can only be good because all you can compare it to is the last one. So
right.
It can only be good.
Right.
Space Jam has too big of shoes to fill. I don't think Space Jam's gonna make it work.
Nah,
I don't know.
The visuals are gonna be great.
Yeah, and then what did you say? What was the last one?
Tom and Jerry. It was Tom and Jerry. Well, Ready Player 2, right? We got Ready Player 2 that's going to come out too as well.
That'd be hot. That'd be hot.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty
That's a theater type of movie right there.
Right. What up, Big Fletch says only blockbuster movies are going to be theater worthy. So I don't know, man.
Like the big blockbuster movies.
The general takeover. What's happening? Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of where we're going to be looking at. Okay. So Keon, we're gonna get into this subject here. Like I said, it was introduced to us by one of your colleagues. If you want to set this one up, we can dissect it.
This was actually given to me by Big Fletch. He's in the comments right now.
Okay.
Podcast, Florida Man Podcast. If anybody wants to go check him out, does great stuff. Talks about Florida stuff if you're interested, because Florida's always wild and popping. Anyways, he hit me up last podcast and was just wanting to talk about social media and how billionaires are building apps and building services off the back of Black people who create the content. And we create all these trends. We create, all these services. Billionaires come in, take it from us, make it work, and then they're getting rich while we're just making the ideas. So he wanted to know, what's but I'll let you start. What's your thoughts on that?
The first thing that comes to mind when you told me about this, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the way he worded it and set it up. The first thing that came into my mind was like TikTok, and I know that might not be exactly where he wanted to go with it, but I'm just going to use TikTok as an example, right? Because this is the way I saw TikTok work. Okay, little girls got in front of the cameras and started dancing, right? Somebody saw that and was like, oh, all these little girls getting in front, doing this. So basically, they had the capital. They were sitting on enough resources at that moment to snatch up this, and not planning, thinking it's going to turn into this big thing or whatever, but just buy it right now while it's hot, right? People going to use, trends don't last long. They just don't, right? You let the stock build, just like everybody doing right now with this, with the crypto stuff. Everybody is riding waves. This is all they really do. They're not expecting this thing to grow into nothing huge, right? But because they have the resources that we don't have, they can throw $500,000 into TikTok or Blick Block or Bleep Bloop or whatever the new thing is, right? You know what I mean?
Bleep Bloop.
And grab it real quick. Sit on it for about 8 months, ride that wave until now it's worth, what, $1.2 billion to who's fighting over it right now? Walmart and somebody else, right?
I have no idea what's going on with
TikTok.
TikTok.
Somebody else is fighting over TikTok, and the bidding war is getting out of control right now. It's ridiculous, right? Now, then you got other stuff like like the one you was talking about earlier, the one with the voices and the audio podcast stuff and all that. It's the same situation. It's like, who has the resources to do it now? And the thing is, unfortunately for us, we've been providing this type of stuff forever, for years. Like we're the innovators of a lot of things, right? But how often are we able to cash in on it because we don't have the resources ready on hand to do it? You know what I mean? And a lot of times we're on the inside looking out. We're in the middle of it while it's going down, so we're not realizing how big it is because we're actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? But these people on the outside, oh, look at these people. Look at what's happening. And all I see is numbers. You know what I mean?
So with that, so you're saying what I hear from you is saying that we come up with the ideas, but we don't have the resources to make it happen.
I think that's the main
and these
thing.
Other people have the resources.
I think having the resources handily, and not because for us, we got to plan things because we don't have the resources like that. We got to get together and say, okay, bruh, we need this, that, and third to make this happen. And by the time we get it to happen, it's over. The wave done crashed by then. But these people, they got this resources that they just have. They don't care if they lose out on it. They don't care if it bites them in the butt later. They don't care. So
a couple things about that. Is there a good guy, bad guy situation in this? And do you think corporations should be paying out or giving props or stuff like that to the people who actually come up with the ideas?
Well,
how do you think that works?
I think that's a whole different can of worms. So then you get into cultural appropriation and all that weird stuff, right? It's really hard to say who owns something when it's a trend, right? You know what I mean? Who owns the busted challenge or whatever, right? A couple of black girls probably started it, right? But who owns it?
Probably.
Who and then
okay. But what about the good guy, bad guy? Is there a good guy, bad guy situation in this?
It's hard to say because you could say because you could say there are people who are predators whose sole existence on this planet is to sit around and watch other people move and cash in on what other people are doing. It's been happening for years, right? You could say that's a bad person, or you could say that's an opportunistic person. However you want to say it, right? The little girl who started the Busted Challenge, because her idea got ripped off or whatever.
You were heavy on this challenge.
Is she a victim, or is she just a person who just happened to do something that caught fire that she doesn't happen to have, number one, the resources to lock it down, and two, realizing how big it is. You know what I mean? She don't know. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I mean, right now, she's I don't know her financial level, but she's like a poor unknown pioneer. Like you created something that became big,
yes,
but you didn't get paid for it. Nobody really knows who you are. They just know what you did.
So I don't
know.
It's the age of social media, bro. Like everybody is. The whole point of social media is everybody trying to make a name for themselves, right? And the whole
or trying to get rich,
but in that process, you lose your personality. Like, so basically, and I keep going back to this busted challenge and TikTok because those are the most popular things going on right now, right? Or at least when I open up social media, that's what I see happening, right? And I'm like, okay, I see what these people are doing, and I see how now all you got like as soon as a little black girl do it. Okay, she might do. Her friends will like it, and it's cool. It'll spread through Instagram. Her 800 followers or whatever, and then those little people, they little followers will get it too. But then the little white girl gets a hold of the busted challenge, right? Okay, okay.
Continue.
Little Becky happens to be on TikTok one day, right? She see the busted challenge, like, damn, look at the busted challenge. All Becky got to do is the busted challenge one time. But guess how many followers Becky got? Becky got 1.2 million followers, right? And Becky's dad happened to say, "Oh, look what's happening with your followers or whatever. Do you want $500,000 to invest in your own busted challenge or whatever you want to call it?" Like, okay, that girl with the thing, the
gorilla glue hair,
the bow. No, not the gorilla glue girl, the little white girl with the big bow. I don't know what her name is. I just see her face on everything, but she wears the. She wears the big bow in her hair, the big ribbon bow, whatever.
I mean, maybe somebody in the chat knows. I don't know what you're talking about. But what about this? What about ideas like for products? Not necessarily challenges, but let's say me and you come up with a product, and we're like, dang, if I just had $500,000, we can make this real. Yeah. And then somebody else overhears it, they make it, it becomes hot.
Now that's different. Now you've been robbed.
So I feel like that's what Fletcher's talking about.
Oh, now you've been robbed.
We come up with these. Yeah, we come up with these ideas, these trends, these services, these products that would be dope, but we don't, like you were saying, we don't have the resources to make it. And then the company comes and makes that. I'm gonna tell you what's your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna tell you what we mess up at, right? What we mess up at is that we show it off before we're ready. We show it off before, because we already know it's dope. You know it's dope because you done recorded yourself doing it, or you done made it, or you done showed it to your friends. You done like one of my homegirls, she does the beard stuff. She does beard oil or whatever. That's her thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that's what she does. So she does her little beard oil. But I'm gonna tell you what she messed up. I remember in the beginning when she first started doing it, she was showing people her process. Okay, and I told her, I said I'm gonna say her name on live. I said, Shaquana, don't be showing people your process, okay? Because I'm telling you, you're gonna be showing people your process, and then little Becky Jo gonna show up with her little can of the same stuff, but her daddy got the money to back it.
Yo, first of all, Becky is an opportunistic person. Like, give it up to Becky. She got all this money and she's stealing all these ideas.
And her dad is super rich, right? You know what I mean? Like, her dad got money, right? But I said, look, you need to don't show your process. Don't be showing it to people. What you want to do is, if you got a dope thing like her beard oil or whatever, I'm gonna use that as an example. If you that proud of it and you think it's that dope or whatever, and your friend, you don't share it with your friends, all think it's dope. Why don't y'all, just kind of promote the beard oil, not the process, not how to get the beard oil, how to make it. You don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's like Michael Jackson giving away how to do the moonwalk. You don't want to give that to Justin Timberlake. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I feel like that's a good do it. Okay, but let me ask you this. So let's say you come up with this idea, this thing, and it's working. You got 10, 20 people, 10, 20 of your friends, they love it. They like, damn, this is the best thing since, whatever. But you don't have the capital or the resources to make it worldwide.
Right.
Now, let's say, Joe Moneybags comes up and he's like, Q, I got all this money. I'm going to make it go wide.
Yeah.
He take it from you. He make it go live. He don't give you a dime. Like he said, oh, this is my idea. He ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
Is that, what is that? Like maybe he give you like $1,000 for the idea. Right. But he makes it go, turns it into $1 billion idea.
Depending on how the word on that contract goes, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to point fingers when you don't know what that language is. So, and I know, like for us, usually when opportunities come up like that, we ready to make it pop, right? Somebody offer me, they say, oh, Q, you and your boy Keon, y'all got this podcast, it's great. I love what the whole vibe y'all got. you know, this is how we can make it bigger. So knowing me and you, we're gonna be like, damn, cuz he offered us like stacks. You know, let's sign the deal, right? We signed the deal. Next thing you know, we've been replaced by Brian and Bob. They the new smart guys.
Yo, where you getting these names from? Jesus.
Like, then we got these dudes up on the panel talking about our show, right? But we signed that, like we signed that link. We didn't, you know. So again, it comes back to us as Black people being smart about our own business, right? And saying, hey, listen, I love this idea. I think it's great. How can we mutually benefit, you with your financial backing and me and my super creative ideas that I have? How can we get together and meet at the table where we both can eat off the same plate?
Right.
You know, equally.
Right.
And if the language ain't right, it's time to step. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, if that opportunity came, another one will. You know what I mean? Like
so right now, if somebody said, "Are you in this for the companies? Or are you in this for the people?" It's not that black and white, cut and dry. It's more so you gotta like the gentle takeover.
Yeah.
Like she just said, you gotta know your worth. You gotta know how to make sure this is beneficial.
Absolutely.
So it's not necessarily as black and white as companies and people. It's more so like we gotta be smarter with ourselves.
Yes,
because make sure we can eat.
Straight up, dude, we've been getting robbed for decades, right? They've been jacking our style for decades. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the reason why we can't reap the benefits is because I'm telling you, we always have that one little misstep or that one thing that detriment with us is that the resources are just not there. Like, they have the resources, and like the fact that they can just walk up to any little young person who's making it happen on social media and be like, bruh, I can make you a superstar overnight. All I do is gonna be like, sure, bro, sign it. And next thing you know, 2 months later, he's still in the projects while he's seeing this thing go worldwide. You got folks over.
And these resources sound more than just money. It's knowledge,
social media following,
knowing people. It's just all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
mean, it's not even just money.
And value on social media is more than what a lot of people think it is. Like, I think social media following carries way more weight than people think. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm thinking, like, I think about kind of what we do, right? And, you know, we don't do a whole lot of heavy promo when it comes to doing podcasts and stuff like that. We just kind of like do the show and we tell our friends about it, right? And, you know, and we're not really expecting like, you know, 700,000 downloads a month and nothing like that, because that's not kind of what we're going for. But if it happened, hey, beautiful, right? Organic growth, we love it. But that's not what's happening, right? So, But when that opportunity come along where somebody want to make it skyrocket super quickly and you ain't really had to put in a whole lot of work, you're gonna be like, hell yeah, let's do it. And you don't read that language, man. Like, and that's why, like, I don't really feel really bad about the people who create all this cool stuff and then they be upset about it because now, you know, Joe Schmo done made it pop. It's like, dude, you can't give away all the secrets online. You can't show everybody your process. You can't just be breaking it down for the masses. You can't do that. You know what I'm just saying? Like, this is because this is a copycat world. Trends are what make the world move these days. Like, because we know what's popping today definitely might not be popping tomorrow. And everybody trying to get it right now, right? So if I see your little idea and I'm like, oh, that, you know, and I go ahead and run the same game and I happen to do a little bit better than you because I got a little bit better resources, I can't be, you know, I can't feel bad for you, Keon. You ain't moving fast enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on the side of corporations taking the idea.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not just being like, oh, poor black people, like, oh, we messed up again.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's more. It's a lot of gray. It's a lot of gray areas. It's a lot of things going on. For me, it's not as black and white.
Right.
But,
yeah.
And hopefully not Q. Who was that? Big Fletch. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah.
Definitely just, you know, send us some more stuff.
I think in a nutshell,
we'll answer it live.
It comes down to just everybody, whether they black, white, just individuals, because it's always the little guy versus the big guy. That's really what's going on here, right? It ain't a black and white thing. It's more of a little guy versus a big guy thing. I think if everybody just got smart about what they were doing, especially if people trying to make moves online. If you're trying to make moves online, you got to watch yourself. You got to watch your steps. You got to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I know there's a lot of people online who make money by trying to tell people what to do, even though that advice usually don't work for it. I don't know. I see these folks online, Gary Vee and all them, do this, wake up every morning, drink 6 eggs, and make sure you know, come on, man, really?
Hey, man, I like Gary Vee.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying, you know, but it's truth to it. you do have to kind of watch what you're doing. You have to kind of, pay attention to what's happening. You got to be looking around because things like this happen. And you never know, especially in this day and age, the way things moving so fast, like the weirdest little craziest, corniest thing catches fire. And next thing you know, they got the red filter and they're doing the drop in slow motion with the booty. I think my butt come on, like it's corny. I'm just saying. I'm not going to invest in that.
That's a whole can of worms.
But in hindsight, should I have invested in Bust It Down Challenge? Probably, right?
Like I said, I hope we are knowledgeable enough to, if we have any ideas that we think can go live, we don't take any missteps. Like I hope we, or if we do set out, like maybe we do make something and it starts getting high. I hope, I would hope that no big company takes our stuff and then makes it bigger.
Right.
But I feel like that's kind of how it, how the world is.
Dude.
If you're small and you come up with something that's popping, even if it's not even giant, if it looks like it's gonna pop,
you might be too young. You might be too young to know about this, but I'm just dating myself real quick. You and a few other people in the chat might be a little too young to know what I'm getting ready to relate to what I'm getting ready to say. But I don't know if you ever watched shows like Unsung and Behind the Music or whatever about the R&B groups of the '90s or whatever. If you notice,
Behind the Music, not Unsung.
None of these groups. The story is always tragic and it's always the same. 4 or 5 young kids get together and realize they got this amazing talent together. They go out and they sing in talent shows and they do the grind. Some rich individual hears them on the independent circuit, decides to throw a whole lot of money at them, right? Now everybody living lavish, everybody living the dream. Then somebody realized that they done signed the wrong deal and that money is being siphoned on the back end. Then the other little dude over here done started doing drugs. The story always ends the same way. The group breaks up and everybody end up with no money, right? It's because they made poor decisions, right? And so the moral of the story is this. If them dudes had been paid, and most people don't because you're kids, you're young, you on social media doing your thing, you doing your little TikTok bust down challenge, and you ain't realizing that okay, 10 years from now, what am I going to look like? You know what I mean? Like, when somebody offered me this deal, you ain't thinking about that. You're just like, oh, he want to make me rich, let me get it rich right now. And then the trend ends in 3 days, and then you ain't got nothing. You're left with nothing.
And weirdly, like I want to say this generation is better with that, but I don't even know. I don't know if we are. But the digital takeover did say like an amazing thing. Those who profit and those who create are not equal. That's true.
Yeah,
that's so true.
They definitely not. Look, the ones who create, I believe, are the ones who are having the most fun, but they're always the ones who lose the most at the same time. The ones who kind of profit are sharks. They are some miserable individuals, but they got money, right? And the reason why they got money and the reason why they're in the position that they're in is because they're miserable individuals, right? They ain't got no friends. They done screwed over everybody they ever came in contact with, but they got money, right? That's how you get to that level. It's really hard. Have you ever seen like a super giving, philanthropist style, super rich, like these Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos dudes, they dickholes, right? You know why? You know why?
No, continue.
It's because when you're nice and you play fair, you lose. And that's just the bottom line. That's just the way it works.
Oh no, I did hear this quote that somebody said, like, if you are a billionaire, like you can't be a billionaire and like a giving person or something like that. Like you can't be morally and financially,
it's hard.
Good
and
hard. Be a billionaire. Like it doesn't work like that.
It's very hard. Like LeBron James towing that line, like he opened the school and did all, he does all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, it's certain decisions that he got to make that a lot of people are not going to be cool with, and he know this. But it's all in the betterment of the LeBron James brand. Like at the end of the day, what's really most important to LeBron James? These kids that he's trying to put into the school that they probably can't afford to go to, or the LeBron James brand. So you got to think about that. That's why, like I said, most people who got it, they little shrewd individuals. They kind of shrewd, right? And the ones who ain't got it, they the nicest. Like them, one of the ones. Like look at DMX for example. That dude. I ain't even gonna go there. But
hey, chat. If I make it, because y'all 5, y'all 6, I don't know who the 6th person is. The first 5 who was in here, I'm breaking y'all off a little piece. Right. Me and my lady, we're gonna go make an island.
Right.
Q, I'm gonna send you some money. Chat, I'm gonna throw you guys something.
We're gonna be like the New Edition story. Me and Q are gonna be like, you'll see us 5 years later. We'll be doing the behind the music on Smart Guyz, and they be like, well, why?
I'm gonna be gone. You ain't gonna see me.
I'm like, why y'all don't speak no more? I was like, well, I tried to kill Keon. He tried to take the bag and run.
Hey, if I get rich, nobody gonna know where I am no more. I'm gone. I am out of here. All right. It looks like we got time for like one more thing. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you got something for me?
No. I thought you said you had that one last thing in the bag.
Well, no, that was it. That was talking about the HBO stuff. That's what I was talking about. And then, of course, I had some that I kind of want to say for next week that I want to talk about. But we can do this right here. This happened over the week. One how people feel about this right here. So right before we go, and we'll start the conversation this week, and we'll finish it up next week. Just like wet everybody's whistles, right? Keon, you talked about on the first show about the tech and how you kind of satisfied with you don't kind of scaled your expectations for technology back a little bit, right? And I'm still thinking I want to see more. I want to see more stuff. You know what I mean? Like gotta get this little floppy folder here. I want to see more stuff like this. I want to see more, right? And the thing I wanted to ask to pose the question to the audience, where we can talk about it next week. What do y'all want to see happen in as far as technology is concerned in the future? I actually think thanks to this pandemic, that we've actually seen the opulence part of technology kind of go away, and the more what's the right word? The more beneficial part of the technology kind of come forward. Minus the dancing robots or whatever from like I know everybody saw that a couple months ago. They were doing the dancing robot, but I mean, as far as like tech being able to help people do actual things, I think that's great. But I also want to see some cool stuff. I know we got a lot of things coming down the pipeline: rollable, slidable, foldable phones. Computers now are blending in with the cell phones, which I think is great.
We got foldable computers now.
Yeah,
I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too, right? Cars are next, right? You know what I mean? So, we got the car stuff. So all that cool stuff. So I don't know. I'm excited for it, especially like, of course I get my eyeballs kind of get bombarded by Samsung stuff all the time, but the Samsung mini LED modular TV wall stuff. I don't know if you've seen it or not. If you haven't, check it out. It'll make your eyes kind of like pop out of your head. It's crazy, right? You know what I mean? But that's the kind of thing, I want to see what people are looking forward to. Because honestly, I believe the cell phone stuff, the smartphone thing, doesn't hit a spot where I think it's,
Nah.
You don't think so?
You seen the rollable LG phone that's coming out?
I saw it.
You like, oh, this is a nice size, but man, if I had a tablet, oh wait,
yeah. I mean that's dope and all, right? And I think that's cool. But is that like earth shattering games? Is that like I want to see something changes the game? You know what I'm saying?
So for me, just like you said, I kind of toned down a little bit. I used to be like the beta tester developer. Like I want to see every new little piece, new little bug, anything new that's any type of different from normal. I was all about it. But now I've kind of toned back. Now I'm just like, I want to see practical stuff. Like I want to see smart homes get better. Yes. I want my car to start driving itself much better than the Teslas do. Like I don't need a crazy phone. Like I don't have a big phone. I don't have a foldable phone. This is fine. I don't need it to be on my arm and scale. I don't need all that. I just need stuff practical now. I need a lot of stuff to work. I want all my stuff to talk to each other. Yeah. That'd be great. That would be really Big Fletch in the comments said he needs robot women. I don't need that at all.
The robot women, that's what I'm single guys, man. That'd have been high on my list too about 15 years ago. I probably would have said that too. Because think about it now. You got a point. Think about what
I got too many.
I don't want to get nobody
in trouble. I can't do a robot.
But I'm saying, if you had a woman who didn't have some of the things that real women come with, you might be a happier. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. I'm just saying, Just saying.
All I know is I like my real woman. I don't need any robots. I don't need any sex bots. I'm good.
Sometimes I would like to come home and not have to been bombarded with the nagging.
I'm telling your wife this day one.
I just, it would be nice.
As soon as we go off air, I'm telling your wife.
It would be nice to know, like a programmable schedule. Like I know, this whole, you okay, baby? I'm fine. But then you got to sit there and figure out the mystery of life, trying to figure out what I'm fine. I mean, I feel a whole other topic for another different day, but I understand where you're coming from. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
Yo, you need to jump. You need to connect with Big Fletch. Y'all would have a good time together.
Man. I completely understand. You know what I mean? Listen, again, y'all guys are a lot of fun. I hate that we didn't get to do this last week. But someone Keon.
Hey, we back week to week. Week to week, y'all.
Yeah, we back week to week. Boring, weird computer situations or whatever. And Keon, don't talk about that. If I had a Mac, it wouldn't be. Nah, don't do that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Hey, man. Hey, if you need a Mac, come over. I got you. Let's set you up right.
It's been real, Keon. Go ahead and put your stuff over. Let everybody know what you got going on and what you're doing right now, man.
Hey, man. I'm here. That's all I'm doing. I'm here. I'm live. If you need me, come reach out for me.
Yeah.
Pink and Black Studios everywhere. If not, just search for my name, Keon. I'm somewhere.
Very nice.
I'm doing photography. I'm kind of doing tech. Just living my life, making it all good.
Sounds
what
good.
You doing,
man.
Q?
I am chilling, man. I am thinking about it, but I don't think I have enough time in the day because, I got 3 podcasts I'm doing. A couple weeks from now, the Shackle podcast, me and the Wifey's podcast, which I'm super excited about because we have recorded a couple episodes and some things that came out in these conversations that after 14 years of marriage, I ain't even know. But, you know what I'm saying? So if people are kind of looking for, a couple that's doing goofy stuff, talking about, our journey as a married couple and all that kind of stuff. You can check that out. It's in my Solo 2 links. That's all on my social media at Big Hughes World on everything. We got that going on. The Big Hughes World podcast, been recording a couple shows, got something in the tank. They will start leaking out here pretty soon as well once I polish them all up. And that's doing life, man, and work, podcasting, recording.
Christina want to know if you're going to talk to your wife about the sex spots on the podcast.
You know what? It may come up. It may come up. I don't know. It may come up.
Hey,
you know what I mean? You never know, right? But y'all been great, man. And I definitely appreciate it. So, listen, if you guys enjoy
I
what
love
we
you
did,
guys.
tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend about the Smart Guyz Podcast. We are back.
That's right.
And we plan on running this one for a hot minute. So, until next time, man, we will catch y'all. Peace. All right. And uh-oh.